good morning and welcome back to the second hour of LoveBabz Love Talk. This morning I'm talking to the students who are the winners of the Creative and Performing Arts Awards over at Yale, which support on-campus dramatic musical, drama, video, and film production, literary publications, and exhibitions in each residential college. These projects are supported by the Sudler Fund, the Watch Art Fund, and the Bates Fund. So this morning I have Valentina Simon, who is the co-president and artistic director of the Yale Ballet Company, and she's a senior at Yale studying statistics and data science. And Raul Herskovitz is the current conductor music director of YUCO, and he is a senior majoring in urban studies, intending to pursue urban planning post-grad. So they have a production of, I want to say it's called, well, it's a take on Alice in Wonderland. Is it called Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, it's called Alice in Wonderland. We're performing in the Schwarzman Dome, and we're incredibly excited to take our original choreographic take on this beloved story.
I love this because I had the other students who were the creative and performing arts awardees. And I what I found interesting is that y'all are not pursuing art as your careers. Y'all are like y'all are doing whole other things. And that but you get to be expressive and artistic through this medium. And I love that because y'all are I just said about you, Valentina, you're a senior studying statistics and data science, which has nothing to do with ballet, or maybe it does. And Raul, you're studying in urban studies, and you are conducting. So, all right, tell me how this works. Tell me how this all works out. And do y'all know each other, or did you come together for this particular production?
No, we did not know each other before this production.
Really?
Yeah, we're both with two different groups. Yuko is a chamber orchestra, like just a small orchestra, basically student orchestra. And Valentina runs the ballet group on campus, and so we're sort of doing a little collab, which
Mhm.
is the first time our orchestra has ever done that kind of thing. But yeah, no, we just do it for the love of the game, really. um, yeah, it's just so much fun, and we're so lucky that we're able to get this kind of funding to make these shows happen.
Oh, I love it. So, Raul, did you grow up playing music? You're a musician, I imagine.
Yeah, I played um, the French horn in some orchestras, and I've conducted since around high school. Um, it's a lot of fun. Music's definitely a huge part of my life.
Because
So
there's
I'm
a whole music school at that university. There's
Oh
a
yeah, yeah, it's serious business. Yeah, I have some friends who are going into that, but that life is not for me. I don't think.
but you enjoy playing your instrument, and so this is as far as you like the freedom of being able to sort of do it, but not do it as your career path.
That's basically it. Yeah. I definitely wanted to stay a big part of my life, and I'm sure Valentina can say the same thing about dance.
Yes.
Um,
So Valentina, I did not know that there was a whole ballet company over there at Yale. Now I know in the Schwartzman Center there's a beautiful dance space over there because I've been
Mhm.
in there. And I met other dance folks from Yale, but I didn't know there was a specific ballet piece. So talk a little bit about your ballet life and and then what you're studying that's not related to ballet.
Yeah, great question. So the ballet company was founded about 11 years ago, so we're pretty new for clubs on the Yale campus, but we're brought together through this shared love of the art form. And many of us, like I started dancing when I was 5, and so it just was such a large part of my childhood, performing in the Nutcracker every year with a bunch of different ballet companies, and then wanting to continue that when I got to school, when I got to college. And I think what it really allowed me to do is brush off my technique and become a choreographer. So the first time I choreographed a group piece is when I was a freshman, my first year in college. And now as a senior going off to graduate, I'm doing an entire ballet that is almost an hour in length. And so
Wow.
that's been an incredible progression for me. And I've just been so supported by the Yale community in that. And growing as a choreographer, I feel like there's this innate mathematical nature to it. And that's what I study. I do statistics, I do computer
I knew you were going
science.
to weave that in there, Valentina.
Yeah.
I was hoping, I
Um,
was like, there's got to
mhm,
be a mathematical piece to
yeah.
this.
But you have all these different dancers on stage and they're talking to each other through their movement and they're creating shapes and they're running in formations. And there's almost this graph theory aspect to it that you want to be able to take those relationships and tell a story to the audience and make them feel like they are going along with Alice's journey. And so I think that my mathematical mind and my choreographic mind are actually quite melded. And I've grown in both of those fields during my time in college.
So what is it about the Alice in Wonderland story that y'all chose and decided to work on? Or is that how that worked? Like y'all got together and said, okay, maybe Alice in Wonderland. Like how was the decision to choose that? I mean, that you could have chosen anything.
Um, yeah, I suppose I thought Alice in Wonderland was a great book. I always loved it as a child growing up. And we wanted to really open up our performances to a younger audience. We always have a couple of little girls in the front row that come after the show and touch our tutus and think that's the greatest thing that they've done in the past month. And we were thinking, what's something that we can do that can appeal to that kind of an audience? And so we have a bunch of professors bringing their kids and people from the community. And Alice in Wonderland seemed like a wonderful way to really bring in a bunch of different characters. We have the Mad Hatter, we have the Caterpillar, we have the Queen of Hearts, we have the Duchess, we have the Cheshire Cat. And so it really gives each dancer a chance to shine, if that makes sense.
And for you, Raul, the music, how do you imagine the music for Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, it's been really fun working with this stuff. It's a wide range of music. We've got as far back like very sort of traditional classical string pieces that, basically anyone who's picked up a violin probably has played at a certain point, to some really, really interesting pieces. There's this one by this man Piazzolla, um, who has this composition called the Four Seasons of Buenos Aires. And he's sort of reimagined like a very traditional string piece in a super, super just fun and interesting way. It's the kind of thing that as an audience member, it honestly, or as a conductor, it makes me just want to like dance to it on the podium. So a wide range of music. And again, I have to credit Valentina and the ballet people with deciding which music to do. That was because you have to have the music in mind when you do the choreography. So my group sort of came in and we're going to work with the music and make it sing as much as we can. But when it comes to picking the pieces, that is all the ballet group, and I have to give them credit for that too.
So what is it like to be in the artistic collaborative space that's so very different from what you're studying? Like what is the energy like? What is the camaraderie? Is there camaraderie? And will you be friends after this?
Yeah, I feel like I've made some of my best friends through the artistic spaces at Yale. And it's almost become a family, in the ballet company over the course of the semester and over the course of my 4 years here. And so that's really special, because your classes, you're doing that because you love math, you love science, you love these computer programming, but the dance, it's you're not not doing it to make money. You're not doing it for your future. You're just doing it for happiness. And there's this special bond that is, that everyone has shown up there that day to dance with you in that space in order to create something beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's been really special for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
I go even as far to say is for a lot of classes, people aren't in that class just because they love it so much. A lot of the times people are in classes just because they need it to do some other thing, or they just need to get through the class for a credit. But in music on campus, it really is like basically everyone there. It's not a means to an end. It's everyone's there just because they love playing the music, or doing the dance. And so you just get a group of people who are all super passionate about what they're doing. And yeah, it's a recipe for success.
So how long have you all been working on this piece? Like what's the time frame from the time that you and when they told you that you won, how much time do you have to sort of pull it all together and then get to show it?
It's a little tight. It's a little tight. I'll say that. But yeah, so our performances are in basically 2 weeks at this point. Um,
mhm.
yeah, even a little less than 2 weeks, I think.
So how do y'all find the time to practice?
We make the time, ballet company is sometimes practicing from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. because
Ooh.
that's the time when people are free, and we'll go to the studio, we'll hang out, and then afterwards we'll all go our separate ways. Sometimes we invite people over to our house for a little bit of, tea and studying and hanging out and listening to some music. But we have to make the time because otherwise there won't be time.
Mm.
Mhm.
So what does the award allow you to do? What exactly, what do you get from the award? Does it allow you to hire people? Does it allow you to buy stuff? Like what other than being a very prestigious and honorable, what do you get to do?
We get a beautiful performing space. So the Schwarzman Dome, it's about, I think, 3 stories tall. You
It's gorgeous in
jump
there.
in there and you feel like you're weightless. You feel like you're outside. There's this incredible ambient lighting. It's in the round, so it's perfect for Alice in Wonderland because she falls down the rabbit hole, right? So we get that and a residency for an entire week. And then we've had support with marketing, with setting a lighting plan, with setting a ground plan, for getting Marley in the space, for getting props, and for purchasing a couple of costumes to make the choreography really come alive. So I have an entire team of people at the Schwarzman that are supporting this production as their jobs, and that's been really special to work with just a support group of that caliber.
Hmm. And Raul, for you?
I think a lot of the award is actually for the dance aspect of it and the space. So when it comes to the musicians, we have us and we have our instruments, and we are just gonna go up there and play the best we can.
So how did she find you? Like how did so who found whom? And how did y'all
We
get paired up?
We actually have someone who dances in the company. Her name is Mia, and she will be our Mad Hatter in tap shoes during the tea party scene. And she plays the trumpet in the chamber orchestra.
Oh.
So I was throwing around ideas with Mia last year, and I said, I know you're in the chamber orchestra. What if we did a collab? And she said, let me bring it up, but I think that sounds like a great idea. So it's just, we have so many students here with a multitude of talents, and sometimes those talents lead to intersections.
So that's how Raul got caught up in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's so for some of these students, man, they're doing like two different dance groups and five different music groups, and I don't know how they have time for anything. But yeah, there's some incredible students. Mia is amazing, and she's going to
Yes.
be essentially doing tap dance and ballet kind of at the same time, and it's wild, but she's incredible.
Well, I
We're very
mean,
lucky.
if you're composing and playing music, I mean, you're pretty much in that same cohort. Like, I mean, come on. I mean, composing is a big deal. I mean, you have to, I mean, you're thinking about how to put music out there, and that's no small feat. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of conducting. It's a lot of like management, but in like kind of the best way. You're just working with a bunch of people, and everyone just goes in, and you're just helping everyone work together, basically. It's a little bit like choreographing, kind of,
Mhm.
um, like getting people to work together. Essentially, is what it's all about.
so Valentina, as you were doing the ballet piece, and you're taking the story and putting it to dance, and you're picking the music, and then you turn the music over to Raul, and Raul sort of like throws it in the air and makes it all, do what you want it to do. How long is this production?
The production is about 50 minutes, so not too long. But we follow Alice as she sees the white rabbit for the first time, and then she falls down the rabbit hole. She drinks her potions to get big, to get small, and she's saved by a dodo and a crab who throw cakes at her so she can return to her original size. And then she happens upon a caterpillar, and there's this slow, intricate partnering scene that happens there. And then she has an argument with the Duchess where the baby turns into a pig, and that's quite alarming for her. And then she moves on to the tea party with the Mad Hatter, the Dormouse, who's very sad, but she comforts the Dormouse. So Alice is kind of heart. And then she finds the Queen of Hearts and the White Queen, and saves a knave from a beheading, before she wakes up and tells her sister all about her magical, adventurous dream in the meadow where they were playing at the beginning of the story. And so we pack a lot into that 50 minutes, and we have a lot of different musical experiences. Each scene is very tailored to what is happening on stage from a musical, from a dance, from a lighting and costuming perspective. As Raul was mentioning, with like the variety of different things we picked. And so I think it's going to be very special.
So it's not all classical music. It's some modern music. Like, do you have some hip hop in it? Like,
We don't have
what
hip
will we
hop in
hear?
there, but we do have like going from like this strings Tchaikovsky serenade to like a little bit of a more powerful Stravinsky and Mussorgsky, where they're kind of like almost yelling at the audience with their violins. And we get into like some powerful brass that happens with Rose Adagio, where there's a triumphant scene. And so we have some that's soft and some that's mysterious and some that's incredibly powerful, if that makes sense. So a range of different experiences.
Oh, it makes perfectly sense. So you have three productions: November 14th at 6, November 15th at 5:30, and November 16th at 5:30. So this is before y'all break for Thanksgiving at some point.
Yep, it's the week before Thanksgiving break. So
And so what
uh,
happens after? So when it's all said and done, do you collab on something else, or this is just the one and done kind of commitment?
You
we
never
don't have
know.
anything planned, but you never know.
I mean, you might like this so much that you might want to do something else. I mean, I don't know how are y'all connected on campus, but it sounds like there's a real sense of artistic community there that you both are plugged into.
Yeah, definitely. And we think, I mean, at least from our perspective in the orchestra, like we're trying to do a lot more collaborations because it feels like something that doesn't happen as much as maybe it should on campus. There are all these sort of groups that do their own thing, but the best stuff comes out when they get out of their comfort zones and do something new together. So whether it's Valentine, I don't know if you have another full ballet choreography in you this year.
I don't know if I have another full ballet choreography in me, but we are collaborating with Berklee College Orchestra and Battelle
Mm.
Chapel on February 15th, where we're going to be doing a couple of excerpts from Capella, but that'll be a little bit of a shorter performance. But we're very excited about that, to perform with a full orchestra And then this fall, we danced with the bells in one of the courtyards on campus. And we're thinking of doing that in the spring again once the cherry blossoms are in bloom.
Mm.
So, because that's always very fun time of just getting out on the grass and dancing to the beautiful music that's being played by our fellow students above our heads.
So, would you both say that your artistic experiences are helpful to your academic studies? Like, do you feel like it enriches and enhances your reason for being at the university?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if I were just reading these books that I need to read for my classes, I don't know if I'd be able to live with myself. It's all about, all the variety of things that we can do with each other. That's, that's what college is really all about, I feel like. And and yeah, we're so lucky we get to experience it. But yeah, it's all about the art and the creativity, and that bleeds into everything in your life. I feel like doing something creative. Um, there's nothing quite like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the fact that I dance in the ballet company and sing in the Russian chorus, it shapes the rest of my experience on campus, and it really changes the way that I approach my schoolwork because it's suddenly from a much more creative perspective, if that makes sense. And I think it shows me and helps me see the beauty within the mathematics and within the computer science, that there is this dance of the numbers. And I choreograph a dance of people in my spare time. And then in my studies, I
You have spare
observe the
time, Alcina?
waltzing.
I don't believe it.
My spare time, it goes to the ballet company. um, yeah. So, yeah. But there's the waltzing of the people and the waltzing of the numbers, and both of them are my companions in life.
Well, I mean, I love it, because so much is talked about how to support college students in their mental health. Like so
Mhm.
much, everybody's trying to figure out ways. I mean, you have a wellness center. They're always trying to figure out ways to sort of support students and give them opportunities to sort of, relax and be creative. And it sounds like you two have found a wonderful way to sort of balance out your brains with, your academic studies and your artistic expression, which is quite helpful. And so Raul, how often do you practice with orchestra and conducting and all of, like, is there a practice component to your time?
Well, yeah, I mean, on my own, I have to study all this music and the scores, and basically just know everything that's going to happen and when. And also what to do in our rehearsals. That time is like so valuable. So we do one rehearsal a week, 7:30s to 9:30s on Tuesday. And sometimes people can't make it. Sometimes people have a class or a test or some other commitment. And so it's a lot of making the absolute most of the time, which is, again, that time is just golden. It's so, and it goes away so quick. But to just get it so, everyone plays together and it sounds good, basically. It's like any sort of band practice, really.
Mhm.
Um, just making the most of the time, getting through all the pieces and making sure they all sound good.
So when you came as a freshman, did you bring your instrument with you? Like, did you have a sense that, well, I might be able to find community to play with, or did you know that ahead of time?
I definitely knew, in terms of playing my instrument, like playing the French horn, 100%. That was like one of the main reasons I applied, because there's this, you can do this kind of music and not have to like be a music major. It doesn't have to be your whole life.
Hmm.
But for conducting, I actually didn't know when I came in that I wanted to keep doing it like I did in high school. It was something I enjoyed, but I sort of actually took a break from it. And then only in the past 2 years did I become more involved in it and get back into it. And now I'm working with Yuko, which is so much fun. But that's life. You have a hobby and it falls by the wayside for some years. there may be a time when I put down the French horn for like 20 years and then I'll pick it back up and I'll enjoy it just as much as I am right now, I'm sure.
And so Valentina, you said the Yale Ballet Company is only what, 10, 12 years old?
Yep.
Okay. And so when you arrived, did you know that you were gonna find your way to them?
Yeah, I auditioned when I was a first semester freshman, and I said, you know, I did this my whole life. I think I'm going to keep doing it, but I don't know if I expected it to take the exact form that it's taking now, as a choreographer. Of course, I'm dancing in Alice in Wonderland, but I'm choreographing like five of the scenes, and that's been really special to me to grow in that way, through my art form. And it, it's been an unexpected journey, but it's been a miraculous one as well.
Hmm. Hmm. And so have you all got to see the other performance from the other awardees? Because I've had a group of folks on, somebody did a play and they do all these different kinds of things. So I don't know if they loop you into the other folks's presentations and productions. I don't know if they do that or if you're aware of it.
There is a play that is going up this week. I'm on the waiting list. I wasn't able to get tickets, but hopefully I'll get off of that, and see them really use the space that we're about to get to perform in. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, there's only two creative performing arts recipients that get to use the dome each semester. So we really lucked out,
Hmm. Hmm.
Yuko and YBC, in our chance to show Alice in Wonderland there.
And so, Raul, have you performed in the dorm yet? You've been in there, but have you performed in there yet?
I have like been in the dome one time, very, very briefly. I've never seen a show there and I've never performed there. Um,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it seems crazy and I can't believe they made a room 3 stories tall. Why would you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. It's awesome. And I'm so, so excited.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
had a
well,
chance to see Brooklyn Rider Quartet perform Philip
yes.
Glass earlier this semester, and it just blew me away because the sound is so round in that
Mhm.
space, and the way that it resonates was so powerful. So I'm really excited, not only to perform in the space, but to have live music. I think it's going to really add, and I'm so thankful to Raul and the Chamber Orchestra for joining us in this adventure.
I really think you'll like the sound of it in there. Like I think you will, as a musician with a musician's ear and a composer's mind, I think you will appreciate the acoustics in there and the spaciousness of it. I think and most artists that I know really like the space a lot. They
Wow.
they
I can't
love
wait. I
it.
can't wait.
So, well, I am so glad that y'all had time to talk to me this morning about this, and congratulations. And I know it'll
I
be
know
I know it'll be amazing for y'all to perform and have all your classmates and whoever else y'all invite to come see you in the space. So, thank you for taking the time to talk to me, Raul and
Yeah.
Valentina.
Thank you so much for having us. This was
So,
this was great. It was good to talk to you.
listen, feel free to come back by anytime. You got some other artistic thing you're doing and you want to talk about it. I'm happy to host you.
Love it.
Thank you so much. We would love to be back. Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good time and happy holidays.
Take care. Happy
All
holidays.
right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Happy
you so
Bye.
much. Thank
holidays.
you. All right, Harry Jones, thank you so much. I am on my way out, but I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's election day. Thank you, Harry, for playing all the Quincy Jones music. Quincy Jones passed away. He was 91 years old, and he left a body of work that is just majestic. So thanks, Harry. Maybe we can play a little uh, Quincy Jones all week, and I'll tell you how I met Quincy and how I know Quincy Jones sometime during the week. So anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, election day. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget to vote. Ooh, ooh.
Ooh.